All right, hey guys, today we're going to talk about the second phase of Jackson's presidency, and we're going to call this Jackson number 2. So the questions here are, how does the tariff of abominations lead to nullification? How does Jackson react to the idea of nullification? And who are the two leading parties by the end of this lesson? Okay, so tariff of abominations. So a tariff is a tax on imports, which are goods coming in. And Jackson helped pass this tariff. It's given the name of abominations by Southerners, saying that this is, from Hades, basically. They hate it because it hurts the South so much. Jackson doesn't see it in that manner because he's trying to protect Northern industry. And that's what the goal, it says here, is to protect Northern industries, in their manufacturing business. Okay, so I'm going to pause this and see if I can show you something that I made. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I made here, and it is a sketch note of how to explain the tariff. Okay, so first thing is a product is coming here in this bin from England over into the New World, okay, here into America. So it's coming in. And when it gets here, we add a tax on top of this price to make it more expensive because we want people buying what we're making in our Northern industries. We do not want them buying what's coming from England. All right. However, the problem with the South is they're shipping out to England cotton, okay? So they're shipping cotton to the English who are using it in their factories to make textiles. And if we are triple taxing the British goods coming into America, then the British get mad at us and they say, see the X here? They say, no, we're not going to buy your cotton anymore, South, because of these terrible tariffs that have been added in the North. So over here it says, it says tariff protects Northern industry. How so? Because it makes people buy the Northern industry brand, right? Because this industry brand is going to be cheaper than the item that came in plus the added tax. The tariff hurts the South though, because the South's trying to sell this cotton to Britain, right? And the British are mad that we're adding this tax to their goods and no one's buying their stuff up here in the North. So they say, we're not going to buy Southern cotton. Okay, so this is why the South calls this tariff of abominations, because they say this is an abomination. It's terrible. We hate this. Remember, Jackson, though, supports this because he saw that it would help Northern industry. Okay, all right, so with that said, then we're going to have an issue with John C. Calhoun. So John C. Calhoun is Jackson's VP. Here he is. There he is, John C. Calhoun from South Carolina. Okay. And Congress has passed an even higher protective tariff. So it says the Brits are mad, so mad at this tariff, and they say, okay, no more Southern cotton will be bought by us, which hurts South Carolina, which is who John here represents, okay? So he's the vice president, and he's from South Carolina, so he needs to step it up, okay? So what's going to happen here is he is going to propose an idea that the states can nullify or get rid of a federal law if they don't like it. So he says, okay, South Carolina doesn't like this tariff, so we can just kick it out of the way and get rid of it. Nullify, nullify. That's what Calhoun says. President Jackson, okay, remember, Calhoun's VP, Jackson is P, he's president. President Jackson says, I don't think so. And he gets all in Calhoun's face. He's furious. Remember, he's a supporter of the tariff of abominations. He does not think a state has the right to do this. No. So he does not agree with this, does not think they have the right to do this. Basically, we would argue, let me move this up, that this is one of the only good things that Jackson really accomplishes as president, is that he stops the nullification crisis. So South Carolina here is so mad they threatened to secede the Union, with Calhoun leading them. So Jackson tells Calhoun, I'm going to hang you from the White House, and he literally has a noose, here's our noose, and he threatens to hang Calhoun. Calhoun runs away like a little girl back to South Carolina, okay? Jackson considers this an act of treason, which is why he threatens to kill his own vice president, remember. I mean, you don't mess with Jackson. Don't mess with me, he says. Okay, so Jackson sends warships down to South Carolina, and he says to South Carolina, so help me, you so much as say the word secession again, I'm going to blow you off the face of this earth. Okay, so he passes the force bill that says the president can use military force to enforce acts of Congress. So he's threatening to attack South Carolina. Henry Clay, the great compromiser, says, whoa, let's calm down. He proposes a tariff that would decrease over the next 10 years. So Jackson gets his tariff. Where is he? There he is. Jackson gets his tariff. Calhoun gets to see it go away over a 10-year period. So he's happy. Jackson's happy. Okay. Then we have the election of 1836. Martin Van Buren is elected president after Jackson. He is blamed for a terrible economic panic that happens in 1837. But really, it's Jackson's fault because of all that Jackson did to end the bust and bring in these pet banks, as you recall, which was not a good idea for the economy. Then you have the election of 1840. William Henry Harrison becomes the first Whig president to win. He dies 1 month later. Okay, he famously gave his inaugural speech over 2 hours long in an icy storm, where he did not wear a coat because Daniel Webster told him that he would look more presidential without the big overcoat. So he does not wear the overcoat, goes outside, gives a 2-hour speech in the terrible, icy, snowy conditions, develops pneumonia, and dies. John Tyler is the first VP to become P. Okay, he succeeds the president when the president dies. The two leading parties are now the Jacksonian Democrats and the Whigs, okay? And Tyler will be a Whig. So to recap, John C. Calhoun, Jackson's VP, here he is. Woohoo! Is from South Carolina. He's mad because of these tariffs. And he says they hurt South Carolina. So he proposes nullification. And Jackson gets furious. He's so angry at this. Henry Clay, the great compromiser, comes out and says, hey, I got a solution. We'll decrease the tariffs over the next 10 years. Okay. Lots of pictures. Let me show you some just in rapid fire. Okay. So the first one, here's the tariff of abominations and nullification. So you see the red is against the tariff. That's all the southern states because they couldn't ship their cotton and other things to Britain. Green is for it. Blue, 60% opposition because they don't have as many industry way up here. But definitely this is the industrial region. Okay. Here is Calhoun, which I needed crazier hair for our man here. I did the best I could. But anyway, there's John C. Calhoun. Nullification. The crisis of a nullification. Remember, nullification means to reject or to void. States claim they have the right to just get rid of federal law if they want to. Jefferson on nullification. Thomas Jefferson said every state has the right to nullify. But he would have said that. Remember, he was a states' rights supporter. All right, another one, no, nullify Obamacare. I wanted to show you this is a more recent example of nullification where people said we should get rid of Obamacare per state. Here's another one, nullify gun control. Get rid of gun control laws so folks can have semi-automatic weapons or whatever they want to have. The force bill, this is the one that said Jackson has the right, the president has the right to use force and to make a state comply with a congressional decision. It looked like war was on the horizon, but it's not. William Henry Harrison. Remember, I just want to point out, he's going to fight at the Battle of Tippecanoe. Remember that? Thames River, he fights there. He's elected to Congress. And then it says he's elected president and dies 1 month after being president of the United States. Okay, here is Tippecanoe and Tyler too. This is William Henry Harrison's nickname, Tippecanoe, because of fighting in the Battle of Tippecanoe, and Tyler too, who would be his vice president, who quickly becomes president. And here's Harrison's death. Talks about his speech was 8,578 words, lasted 2 hours, cold, very cold, wet day. He dies a month later from pneumonia, which Miss King is awesome and remembered all that. Shortest stint as president to date. Okay. And also wanted you to see John Tyler, who becomes the first VP to be P. And now we're at number 10. Okay. All right, let's go back to our essential questiones, which are right here. How does the tariff abomination lead to nullification? Well, remember, the South, especially South Carolina, does not like the tariff of abominations because the British are not buying Southern cotton, because the North is raising the price on British goods. So that upsets the South. Okay, so the question was, how does it lead to nullification? The South says, hey, why don't we just nullify or get rid of the tariff, okay, for our state, okay, or any other for that matter. Next question, how does Jackson react? He gets irritated, and remember, he's going to walk around with his noose, and he's going to be looking for Calhoun to hang him. Okay, he does not actually hang him. He doesn't hang him, but he wants to. Okay, he threatens to. And it then uses the force bill to force South Carolina to submission. South Carolina, of course, does not secede the Union, and they back down. Who are the two leading parties at the end of the lesson? And they would be Jacksonian Democrats and the Whigs. We get William Henry Harrison as the first Whig president, then John Tyler when William Henry Harrison croaks. Okay? All right, a shorty but a goodie. Hope you enjoyed that. See you guys later.